Hey, what's up, you guys? Today we have Nvidia's earnings. So let's take a look at in this video. How are we looking at heading into the earnings? I also talked about a trade plan over the weekend on my public channel here, and that trade plan is working out as just how I explained, and we are in the money. Now, what to do, what to expect through the earnings and after earnings, I'll talk about that in this video. If you want to understand a little bit more of this ongoing trade that we are in, definitely check this video out of mine on Nvidia that I did on my channel right over here. Nvidia is the cheapest, and actually, well, there is another one down here, trade plan 3 days ago. So I did a follow-up as well a day ago, but then there are two videos that you can check out to get more understanding of Nvidia's trade plan that we are in. I have swapped these two trade plans that I provided you, the style, the sequence of these, because I personally took this trade style. So that's why I have put it first over here and the second one is over here. But if you have seen those videos, you exactly know what I mean. I provided you two trade styles for that, whatever suits your way of trading. I personally chose this style because I was liking this type of a style of a trade. And so that's why I moved it here, this first, and this is just here in the background, or the second in the sequence that you see on my chart. So let's get moving. Before that, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. At the time I'm doing this video, there's a bit of a glitch on TradingView where you would not see the price change on the daily interval right now, and neither in your watch list for many stocks. I hope they are fixing it behind the scenes, but there's this glitch going on right now today. So we'll have to go back and forth and a little bit get the understanding. But as you can see, price is at $196 on the hourly interval. You can see it moving there, which is a little bit, on the daily interval, it's right around where we are, just a little bit higher than that. So anyways, we have earnings today on Nvidia. Okay. Again, Nvidia is expected to beat, pretty much put it simply, and Nvidia may definitely beat, and it will surprise investors. And previously as well, guys, Nvidia, whenever its earnings has happened, it has always saved the market. I'm seeing a lot of good signs for that. If you want to know detailed plan on a lot of stocks trade plans that I have talked with my members, and lot many other stocks where things are looking really great and you don't want to miss out those opportunities, you can check out my members only videos either on the YouTube, or you can find these same videos which are members only on my Patreon as well. For the Patreon stuff, you will find the links in the description of this video, and for the if you just want to join through YouTube on the videos only section, then you can just go to the join button underneath of this video. You can join from there. Anyways, on Patreon, you will also get my tools if you are interested in that. Okay, so the trade plan was, I was telling you right over here that we are going to remain bullish starting this week. Okay, you can have your stop loss even until like 188. Everything is fine until there is just a pullback, and even until 185 will remain fine technically overall in this structure, and our bias has to remain bullish. Now, I always say no one knows what's going to happen through the earnings to the price action. So I always suggest take some partial profits. Okay, before the earnings, sure, you can carry your position through the earnings, whatever you like, how much you like, but please remember things may flip with no upcoming warning in the price action. Okay, earnings can be great, price may still fall. There is no correlation. Though we have high likelihood of continuation to the upside on Nvidia in the price action, and price action structure is also bullish, I'm just telling you to handle your risk. Okay, manage the risk, right? I am personally sizing down some of my position in profits before the earnings. I still have time. By the time market closes, I'll be sizing down some of my position on Nvidia, and I am planning to carry at least 50% of the position through the earnings as well. If it breaks below 185, that's okay with me, but I don't think it's gonna break. And anyways, also I'm gonna be sizing in and out the position. My decision may change by the time earnings are about to happen. I may be 25% only through the earnings, and then I'll reopen after the earnings more position. The point is that though trade is working out as per our plan. I mentioned that 3 days at least you can trade a full position. You can a little bit mitigate or size down your position just before the earnings. Let the earnings happen, and for the remaining position that you would have, just run with that, right? And as you will have to manage, how much risk you are willing to take on the remaining position if the price breaks. Now the thing is that where the price will break, right? And accordingly you can calculate how much tolerance you have for the remaining position. If and only if, like, there is only a problem for coming days I see, like, there are two steps. First is if we lose 184 area, then I see some days of weakness on Nvidia. But the bigger problem I only consider on Nvidia if after earnings this thing gaps below like 176 and or $170. Right now I don't see any indication of that happening. Okay, price action has created a good distance, and I don't think that Nvidia can gap down that much. Again, just my speculation on based on the macro of Nvidia, but I don't think Nvidia is going to gap below like 13 or 14%. Okay, so even if earnings after earnings price gaps down, I don't see that it's gonna make Nvidia long-term bearish. Nvidia will still have a lot of room to stabilize and come back. So anyhow, we are also at this point testing that zone of 195, where I have said previously, and I have shown you on my tools, that a lot of short sellers have been sitting over here. Let me turn on that on my tools. Again, guys, if you need access to my tools details, you will find in the description of this video. And short sellers have come quite a lot in that very zone, 25 short percent, 22%, anything on Nvidia above 20% is high, 21, 20% short volume, previously 23%, that's hidden behind 18% actually right over there. I have shown you this previously as well. Yeah, 24 actually right behind right over there. And then also you can see right in this zone 22, 21, 22, 21, 23 and so forth, right? And then we see a follow through to the downside. The difference this time is that, which is good, that at least when we hit this zone again this time, we didn't see high short volume, it's only at 17. And I also told you that even though 20% is coming here, a little bit lower of that as well, high short volume interest per day, the thing is that even the thing is that structure is still holding bullish strength, and this time we didn't see much short sellers come in here at this time, right? Which means all these not short sellers will have to start covering, because short sellers are already like, okay, we can't short it anymore, we can't short it. We did try, but this time, since we don't have high short sellers as well and structure is already turning bullish, it will force all these short sellers now, their stop loss is right up here, to start covering this position. And I told you in my last video as well that earnings could be the catalyst. Things are looking really good on Nvidia to push through this time, and as structure remains bullish and let's say Nvidia gaps up, I do believe Nvidia has a room to test 212 today itself, and that's why I'm carrying my remaining position. I'm willing to risk it. That's the plan, not the whole position that I went in with in this trade that I also told you in my last few videos, but I'm willing to risk some of my position through these earnings. And I do think we may see a gap up, but as I said, there is nothing guaranteed. So I'm prepared if it goes down, then accordingly, I'm just gonna tolerate that, right? As I just explained how I'm seeing the price action to evolve then even after that. But I do think we have high likelihood. If not gap up, I do think we will stabilize somewhere here. We may just go sideways as well in after the earnings or through the earnings, but I do believe we may be fine and we will remain in the bullish structure, at least in the near term. 212 is possible on Nvidia. All right, guys, let's take a look at the hourly interval again. Yep, price is already coming back up, right? It's already taken out that short seller zone, it's taking out, and earnings being the catalyst. This is really great sign. Nvidia is really pushing through this time, and as I said in my last videos, trade plan is working out just as how I expected. If you want to know a lot more about many other trades that I tell my members, check out the details in the description of this video for the memberships. And with that, guys, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care. Bye.